What's going on, guys? Today we are looking at second inform Schar, and he's coming up next. So in today's video we are having a look at the second inform Schar. He is the Switzerland, but I don't know the when you say Italian, this Switzerlandian. God knows. He's from Switzerland. He plays for Newcastle. He's a centre back who was originally a 75 non-rare. He then managed to get his first inform 81 version in Team of the Week 19, and we're in Team of the Week 25. He's managed to get another free increase to an 84, and he's doing well. He's doing very, very well. He's doing bits. 27k on the Xbox, 24.5k on the PlayStation. Maybe could drop a little bit more, but to be honest, for an 84 inform with the SBCs that are coming out, I think that's probably where he's gonna chill for a little bit. Maybe he will go a bit lower when packs get open, depending on what they do on Friday, but more than likely we'll sit around about that price range. So, basic information on this card: 2-star skiller, not too fussed with a defender. 4-star weak foot, nice for a defender. I think 5 is always better, but 4-star on a defender is not bad at all. He is right-footed, standing at 6'2", so he's not the tallest defender in the world, but I think that's a pretty acceptable height. He's got a medium defensive work rate, high attacking work rate. Again, that doesn't really bother me because of custom tactics. Personally, defenders always stay back unless to be honest, even in ultra attacking they stay back nowadays. Normally when you did in the other FIFAs, you put ultra attacking, one defender would go forward, but I think in a lot of teams now the defenders just stay how they are. So let's get into the stats of this card. 64 pace, not the greatest in the world, not the worst most definitely for an 84. I think there's definitely slower players out there for the caliber of he is, but he has got very nice dribbling and physical for an 84. Both 83 rated stats. Personally, the stats overall don't scream an 84 for me. I think they are a little bit lower, but I think that might have some effect that he is coming from a 75 non-rare, and I think if you're an 84 that say you was an 83 gold rare and you've gone up to an 84, it looks a little bit better because you're more on the high end of 84. And going up to an 85, rather than this card, I think he's at the low end of 84. So the stats don't scream an 84 for me. It plays all right, to be honest. I think for 27k, you can't complain. There is obviously better players out there for the price, but I personally am struggling for this sort of price. I'm thinking more 50k above. You'll find the centre backs that really will have a difference, say in your division rivals or foot champs. And the only issue I have with these cards is necessarily they don't play very well in certain game modes now, because foot champs, division rivals, and I've heard even online single players are full of competitive, and that's an issue with these sort of cards because they're not 10 out of 10s, they're not the prime moments, they're not the icons, they're not the 90s, but he's solid all round for an 84 most definitely. Looking at some of the stats, 97 jumping on this card, that is fantastic. 85 strengths to accompany that, 76 stamina, not too much of an issue with a defender, 79 aggression, physical all round is fantastic. I don't quite get how it's an 83, I suppose the 97 can only carry it so far, but that is fantastic stats there. He does also have 93 penalties and 91 shot power, just putting that out there. Obviously he's quite a decent header of the ball, and I think that's where he makes his money for this card. Very, very good in the air. Obviously the 97 jumping equipped with the 91 shot power and the 87 heading accuracy, it all adds up to a really, really nice kind of in aerial attack player, or someone who's going to possibly bang one in on a corner. So that's something to look at definitely if you've not got that front post OP player, or say in the middle in the mix, someone who's going to out jump people. This is probably your guy, and for 26k I'd be interested to see how many goals he gets for you. Looking at the defending, 84 interceptions, 80 marking, 81 standing tackle and 80 slide tackle. Also quick shout out to the 82 short pass, 83 long pass and 85 reactions. But looking at that defensive stats, doesn't really scream 84. It's very, very nice. I think it's definitely doable in this terms of how his defensive style is. Personally, if he was to whack a shadow on this card, he'll have 75 pace and 90 defending. That's something that really puts this card in the market for me. For 26, 27k, Possibly if you was going to get him, I'd look at maybe 22, 23. Then you add a shadow card on it, which is 5k, so it brings you back up to 26 overall. You're looking at a really, really nice card then. It would then increase his defensive stats to 94 interceptions, 92 heading accuracy, 90 marking, 86 stand tackle, and 95 sliding tackle, as well as obviously the big increase in his pace to a 75. I think then you've got a player that maybe not in FUT Champs, and I don't think many of these informs would get in your FUT Champs teams, but in division rivals, it definitely could be a card that you could look at. Even if it is just a fitness team that you put in division rivals, I really think that this card could have some place in it with that Shadow Chem style. I don't think personally I'd put anything else on it, but for that, I rate him very highly, and I think he plays very, very well. Again, another player like Sigurdsson in the last review, if this comes out following it, very consistent with how he plays, and that's something I really like with these sort of low-rated cards. You know what you're going to get from them, and they don't disappoint, and that's something I really, really rate for these cards. So overall rating, I'm giving him a 7.6. Think he's a fantastic card. I'd probably give him maybe about a 9 out overall if it comes to how much you're paying for him, how much he's worth basically. I think for how much you're paying, you're definitely getting a nice return on him. But as an overall player compared to absolutely everyone else, I personally think there's a lot better, but you can still definitely use them in a division rivals team. So let me know what you think. Have you used him? Are you a Newcastle fan and you're absolutely buzzing to see a second inform of him? And have you got him in your red picks? Personally, I got Quagliarelli and Stuani in my red picks, so really, really happy with them. Make sure you like this video and subscribe for the next review, and I'll see you all again next time.